What's up, everyone? First off, I would like to apologize for the audio quality. I'm still trying to figure out a good way of recording audio. I know it sounds trivial, but I just don't have much audio equipment. I'm mostly a video guy, so I'm just, looking at my options. So anyways, what I'm going to do today is show you how to do a long exposure shot photo in Skyrim, or really anything else, like any video game or whatever. We're going to focus specifically on Skyrim because it's one of my favorite games, and I did this and posted it on Reddit, got a pretty good response. And some people wanted the video explanation. So anyways, I'm going to try to keep it a little short, so I'm going to jump right into it. First of all, right now I have my Blackmagic Intensity shuttle set up. It's a capture card. It's taking the image from my PC, my gaming rig, and basically piping that into my MacBook Pro, and as you can see here, it's kind of playing on the, in the software here. So I've already captured a clip, but I just wanted to go over a couple console commands. These are all important for when you're doing this kind of thing. FOV 90, that's kind of the field of view that I like to set Skyrim to. That'll make it you essentially see a little bit more around you, and it looks nicer. I like to set my time scale to 100. I think the default is about 20, but I like it higher because it's a little bit easier on all the systems because the files aren't as big and stuff like that. TCL is toggle collisions. I would recommend using that to get your character into a place where the character is not in the way, where they're not disrupting the movement of the NPCs and stuff like that. But I would then toggle collisions again to get out of that, and then use the next one down, TFC, which is toggle free camera, which allows you to fly the camera around. The only thing is that you have to remember is that TCL actually moves your character, TFC moves the camera. So you can't go far away from your character because it will go into areas that are unloaded. But TCL, you don't really want to use that to capture things because you run the risk of setting off the idle animation, where the camera spins around your character. And in addition to that, I've found that when you do TCL, none of the NPCs can move. So it can kind of cause some weird artifacts if you're shooting a shot that has NPCs in it. And then finally, TGM, toggle God mode, is always really good to do just so that you don't accidentally die. So those are the console commands. I already set up what is the shot that I'm gonna do for you. Here's the footage here. I'm gonna throw it into After Effects. It's a ProRes 422 file. PC users might not be accustomed to that kind of thing. If you're using a different capture card, it might be capturing an H.264. ProRes is a editing file. I mostly do video work, so I use that kind of thing, and that's one of the things that's good about the Blackmagic card. So you can see here, I'm scrubbing through it a little bit. You've got this galaxy kind of spinning, stars spinning below the tree, which is the tree in Whiterun. What I did is I threw the file in here and then dragged it to this create composition thing. That will basically just make a new composition with the same settings as the video, and put the video in there with the work space, the work area already set to the normal size, the same size as the video, excuse me. What you need to do is you need to click on the video, click Effect, Time, and then this CC Wide Time. CC Wide Time basically, well, you'll see what it does in a bit. I'm just going to take both of these values and step them way up. Once this renders, you'll kind of see what is going on here. Basically, it takes adjacent frames and kind of blends them together intelligently to create what kind of looks like motion blur. It's a very smeary effect because it doesn't change the actual rate of the clip. It just adds motion blur. You can see it here. It looks kind of cool already, but the problem with it is that you can only go up to this 126 value. I'm going to go ahead also right now, I haven't really done this before, but go back to Effects, Color Correction, and then Curves, because I noticed that I want to bring some of these stars out, so I'm just going to lighten it up a little bit, and then maybe crush those blacks down just a tiny bit, just to increase the contrast on those stars. This will make it easier with Photoshop to make those stars really nice and visible. So anyways, I think that looks like a pretty good tweak. I'm going to bring the real big highlights down just a little bit, the galaxy, just to downtone that a little bit. Anyways, so at this point then, what I want to do is click on Layer and then Pre-Compose, and then I want to make sure to move all the attributes into the new composition. Basically what this does is it just takes, for those of you who don't know, it basically just takes the clip that was already in there and puts that into its own composition. What this does is it allows me to right-click on this new composition within this other composition now, and click on Time and Time Stretch. If I did this without pre-composing, it can cause some problems. So with that wide time effect, so I just go ahead and pre-compose it just to be safe. And when you're doing time lapses, which is another thing I really like to do, the pre-compose becomes incredibly important. So I'm just going to put this down to maybe, I'm going to do 7. So that takes the video down to less than 15 seconds, as you can see there. And then I'll just collapse the work area down to make it a little narrower. And it's ready to be exported. So I'm gonna go ahead. I can never remember the I can never remember the things in the menus because I always do just key commands. But what I want to do is make movie. Where do I do that? Make movie. I don't even know what it's called. I just know it as Command M, or for PC users, Control M, I believe it is. So I'm really sorry. Again, I'm so used to using a keyboard that I don't even think of the stupid menus. So I'm just going to do Command M. Again, that's Control M if you're on a Windows computer. And then press Render. And then I'm going to skip ahead while this renders because it'll take a little while. Okay, so the render's all done. It's right here on my desktop, looks like. What I'm going to do then is go to Photoshop, go to File, Import, Video Frames to Layers. What this is going to do is essentially take the video frames of this video that we just created with After Effects and put them into the layers. It's kind of clever, but I like to trim a little bit off the beginning and end because usually there's some like excess stuff that you probably don't want. And also Photoshop only supports 500 frames, and so you kind of want a shortish clip anyways. So there we go. I'm making the layers. By the way, a lot of these processes are a lot slower because I'm running the screen sharing. They'll probably be faster when you do them. Okay, so then what I want to do is I want to select all of the layers just by shift-clicking them all. And then I'm going to right-click on the layer visibility thing and say show this layer, and that's gonna hide all the layers. I don't know why it doesn't actually show all the layers, but you'll see it takes a little bit of time depending on how many layers you have, but then you want to do it again so that all of them are visible, because you want all of the layers stacked on top of each other in order to do the actual time lapse or the actual long exposure effect, which is a pretty easy effect to do in Photoshop, and I'll show you why. Basically, all you need to do is click on normal and click on lighten. What this does is it takes all of the frames and combines them. You can see some funky aliasing. This is due to the fact that as the stars are going, they're going to blink in and out of existence a little bit while they're traveling when you're capturing the footage. It's annoying. It's sort of like a moire effect, but I haven't found a great way of doing it. I might have to play with some crazy anti-aliasing. I know that ENB does like subpixel anti-aliasing and stuff like that, or what is it called? Where it actually renders the entire scene in a much higher resolution than downsamples it. So I'm probably going to do something like that. But and then the last thing that you really need to do, the last real thing that you need to do, is you need to merge all the layers together. And then, finally you can add some adjustments. I like to do another curves adjustment just to get those, those blacks a little bit blacker, and those, the stars a little bit more visible. Yeah, something like a little bit more like that. And then the most important thing, especially if you've lightened it a bit, is to do this vibrance, which will increase some basically the saturation a little bit, and so you can just play around with that a little bit. As you can see, it's a little bit multicolored in the stars. I guess the texture that I'm using kind of has some odd stars, so that's a little strange. I'm just gonna tweak the curves a little bit more to maybe downplay that just a tiny bit, and to again kind of increase those blacks. It's nice to have nice blacks for something like this. Makes it look like nighttime. And there you have it, and then all you need to do is just save it. I guess I've named everything else on my computer Untitled 1 _1 or whatever, so I'll do that. I'll go ahead and post this for you guys to see as well, just on Reddit. And that's it. Pretty easy. Not a quick process because it has some processing that you have to do. However, I am working on better ways of doing this. I literally had this idea late last night, like, around 11 p.m. And so I quickly put together a couple and put them on Reddit and stuff like that. So I'm pretty new to this kind of idea as well, but it's really cool and really fun. So check it out. Do it yourself. It's cool. All right. See ya.